Well, welcome everyone. So glad you could join us as we sit down to talk one-on-one with His Excellency, the Governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker. Governor, welcome.
How are you, John?
I'm hanging in there. Good to have
Good.
you. So, Governor, you've said all along during this pandemic that your policy decisions will be guided by data and science. On August 18th, you said in a radio interview that you were sticking with your policy of having local school districts make their own masking rules for the coming school year. On August 20th, your education commissioner proposed a statewide indoor mask mandate for the schools. Can you explain what changed about the data and science during that 48-hour period?
Well, we've had many conversations with our colleagues in local government since the start of the pandemic, and we do rely on them to provide us with what I would refer to as sort of the facts on the ground as they see them. And they've informed many of the decisions we've made over the course of the past 18 months or so. And I've said many times, and I said it when I talked about COVID with respect to schools and masks, that things change primarily because the circumstances and the facts on the ground change. And,
so what changed?
I've always talked about at this time, right? At this time.
Right.
And we heard a lot from our colleagues in local government who felt that it was very important for them and therefore for us and for the constituents that we both serve that we start the school year with a consistent standard across the board. And we kicked that around with them for a couple of days and eventually agreed that we would move forward there. It's our hope and our expectation, by the way, that we'll be able to use many of the vaccine clinics that we've established with local school districts to give schools the ability to get to the 80% of the folks in a school building or district vaccinated so that they'll be able to then make their own decision going forward, which I think most people were pretty comfortable with.
So just to clarify, in this case, it wasn't a case of new data sets or new science. I mean, it was political, and I don't say that derogatorily, but in the sense of you're getting feedback from local districts saying, this is problematic for us. We need the state to lay down a statewide policy. Is that correct?
I would call that definitely part of a data discussion. I mean, that is data. That's incoming information about the practical reality of what people are dealing with and what people are facing. I mean, many of the decisions we've made since the beginning of this have been driven in many cases by what people think they can do and what they think they can't do and when they can do it by. Those things matter.
It was interesting to me that after you took a lot of heat for asserting state control over the vaccination rollouts, a lot of the same people who were giving you heat over that were giving you heat over dispersing the decision-making about masking to the local districts. Talk a little bit about that dichotomy.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned about COVID since the beginning is there's never anything that's uncomplicated that's associated with decision-making. And we've tried in many cases to be as flexible as we can be with our colleagues in state government and our colleagues in local government. And I think in some ways, the back and forth that you see associated with some of those decisions is driven in many cases by so what I would describe as sort of the circumstances and the situations that folks are in, depending upon where they live, which communities they're worrying about, and how they feel about their ability to pursue a policy. And I agree with you. There have been some things that have ended up becoming what I would describe as statewide and state-based approaches. There are things that have been done at the local level, and there's definitely been some pushing and pulling between us and the locals around a number of these issues since the start of this. The one thing I would say, though, is I take a lot of sort of satisfaction in the fact that you don't have, for the most part, the kind of gear grinding and the outright opposition and just political discourse that's going on in many parts of the country between and among state and local officials. And I think that's a good thing.